Right, so I wanted to talk to you about agile development, which is a bit boring, but I thought I'd go through it by giving you an example, by mixing together a few jobs that we've done at Future Platforms. So I've been working waterfall, so the sort of slightly more boring way, for quite a few years, but in the last few years I've been working with Agile and Agile Scrum at Future Platforms, which is a sort of slightly different methodology. So how would a nice project start for us? It would start with something like Channel 4, a nice briefing, a lot of research, a lot of trends about their audience, and a lot of themes that you can build on top of. And then what you need from that is work out a good idea that you can sort of carry through a project. In this example, Roulette Cricket, it all started from a paper plate, which is something that our client team would, who are cricket fanatics, would play at cricket games, where they would just bet on where the next boundary was going to be by putting their coins on the plate and see who won. And that kind of really helps to carry the whole project through. What they didn't do is come to us with a sort of a design that was already there in place and specified, nor we went back with the kind of project manager thing about going, you know, give us the specifications, tell us what you need. And that makes a difference. So what we would have done there is put together a team. Usually it tends to be a couple of developers, a designer, a QA, and then some support people around them, so project management, Scrum Master. And what the team would then do is start breaking down the project into small stories. This is something that we did for Viz Profanosaurus. So the first thing, the most important thing, was to actually get their content, make sure that we could work with their profanities. And then after that, it was a question of just prioritizing all the other little bits that they wanted to do, leaving out at the bottom, in a way, the kind of stories, as you call them in Agile, that you may actually drop out if you don't get enough time at the end of a project. And then what that lets you do in Agile is to actually commit to something even though you don't have any specifications. You're kind of giving a general direction to where the project is going to go, and that's what you need to get a signature, in a way, on your contract. But what you don't have is the kind of time of the essence and the sort of heavy contracts that you get with clients. They do need people like Orange or Viz, in this case, understand that the devil is in the detail, and there will be a lot of back and forth to be worked out. So in this case, we would have started development for a few paper prototypes, some references from applications that they'd already done, and just a few general flows. But that's kind of as far as it went in terms of initial design. What we didn't have was an actual sign-off point for design. There wasn't a design sign-off, and I think that makes a huge difference when it comes to Agile projects. What we did instead was to actually carry on evolving the design on the actual code. So we were actually designing on the application rather than on paper and sort of flat stuff. And we kept tweaking it as we were going through the project all the way to the last day, effectively. And the way we then ran it was every 2 weeks we would get the entire team together with the client, just work out what we needed to do for the next 2 weeks, and talk through the detail of exactly how that could be done. And then on a daily basis, you would just get the team to work through those stories, what needs to be done, get them developed, get them tested, and then only once they are tested, they move into completed and done. And at the same time, we also did a lot of user testing. So early on in the project, because you don't have much to show, you would do something on paper and get it in front of real people and see what they say. And later on, keep it very simple, and every 2 weeks, just get it in front of people with your real app and see what they think about it. And at the end of those 2 weeks, you end up presenting back to the client with the entire team everything that is being done and completed, work out what you could have done better, but and more importantly, you go and measure how much work you've done and completed in that sprint. So you don't end up having variable sprints with different lengths. You actually can start measuring what's happening. So in summary, I think Agile is interesting because actually it's a lot more data-driven and a lot more hard data than people think. it is definitely about collaboration and inside the company and with clients, but more importantly, it sort of gives you the nice balance between delivering something and getting the right level of quality for it. That's it.